This is Digital Soul,
Hey, this your boy Big Roo.
and we are the Purple Brothas. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for the Purple Ride again with the Purple Brothas. Big Rube and myself, Digital Soul, we're about to jump into 1981's classic recording, Controversy. One of the classic recordings by Prince in his early career, the fourth album, and one of my favorites as well as Big Rube, I think, as well, right?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. This is we're getting to the funk now. You know,
Getting into the funk, the new wave, the nasty, all that.
through all of it. So this is a classic record, 1981 Controversy. Man, it was just really building off the funk that he gave us prior, which was Dirty Mind, which is coming soon also. So man, I'm excited, man. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Let's just dive into this massive of a record, man. We got some funk. We've been waiting for the funk. I know you've been waiting for the funk.
I've been waiting for it.
Let's get right into it, man.
I was just gonna say I like the album. Good night. See y'all next week.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
That's it. Bye.
I like all the songs. Good night.
Definitely. Like, let's.
But no, on a serious note, man, we do appreciate this album more and more as it gets older because it still stands the test of time and a lot of important stuff going on in this album. So we want to go ahead and recap and go through track by track and kind of experience the music and what goes along with the messages throughout the songs here.
Absolutely. And let me keep this in mind. This was 1981. I'm going to date myself. I was 9. I'm much older than that now.
How old are you now? 11?
No. But this was some historic, funky record, man. In this era, in the 80s, man, you had George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic. You know what I mean? You had so much going on. Bootsy's Rubber Band. You had so much going on. And here is this brother with his fourth record and just blessed us with this monumental record, man. So with that being said, let's just go into the first track off this album. This is the self-titled track. It is Controversy.
I just can't believe all the things.
Shit hits you like a heartbeat, just pulsating through your veins. It's just evil.
Yes.
Man, that bass line, that kick drum at the beginning, it never gets old, man. And this song, man, I swear, it's gotta be. I know we're getting ready to do this soon as far as our favorite funk jams, but it's high on my list as far as the Prince funk jam, right? It's very high on my list, man. And the fact that he conveys so many messages in this song that are still like very important, as far as the world, questioning sexuality, am I straight or gay, am I black or white, and also addressing serious issues a lot of people have overlooked as far as even mentioning things like some people want to die so they can be free, which is, true in a lot of cases. Some people do turn to suicide in order to free themselves. And,
right.
The world is just a game, we're all just the same. At the end of the day, we are in a game in the world and we are the same. We cut us, we're all going to bleed. So no matter what color we are, we all bleed the same. So this song is very, very important and very philosophical in a lot of ways underneath the funk, if you really listen and hone in on the message of the song. So it's very, very relevant even in 2020.
And absolutely, because through each album, Prince was going through different changes in appearance, different changes in his music. And when we got to this prior with Dirty Mind, he had that one look, with the trench coat, and then the briefs, the bikini briefs. Then here you go again with the trench coat, nice little shirt with the little tie, what have you. And he's still rocking the briefs with the thigh highs and the boots.
Still got on drawers.
Still wearing the drawers, right? So he had like I would say, people would think he had a feminine look. So people will always ask questions. Okay, is this dude gay? What is this dude about? Is he mixed? Is he black? Is he white? And so he addressed all that in this record. And I can remember vividly being a young kid, and I had these big ass headphones. I mean, they was like big ass biscuit headphones, right? And I had to stick it into the record player, and I was just bumping it, and it got to the part when he said the Lord's Prayer, and I looked over to my mama. I said, Mama, he's saying the Lord's Prayer. She said, let me hear that. And she heard it, and then she banned it from the she banned it from the house because she thought it was blasphemy that he would say the Lord's Prayer in the song because of, you know, the subject matter. And then he want to put the Lord's Prayer in. She wasn't with it. So even to this day, and I'm older, when that part comes on, when he says, Our Father who art in heaven, I don't listen to it. I
Yeah,
can't play it all the way through.
yeah. It's actually. I mean, it's really cool that he did that, but it's an eerie thing to have that included. Like I said, with the funk, the messages, and the questions, like you pointed out. You know, that was directed at who he was, but a lot of times, like you said, because of his appearance and things like that. But I don't think he just only addressed that for himself. I think he addressed it for the world as well, because there's a lot of people that weren't, you know, comfortable or afraid to, you know, be themselves. So he was letting
Right.
people know, hey, it's okay to be you. It's okay to be black. It's okay to be white. Wear your hair wild. Come out in your underwear if you want. You know, be free, basically. So I
Yeah,
think he was addressing that for the world. And
absolutely.
including that Lord's Prayer, yeah, including that Lord's Prayer, it was a little eerie to hear that included, and then also that second chant about, you know, people must be rude, you know, which we
People
already
call
knew.
me
That whole
rude.
thing, that whole
I
chant,
wish we already knew.
yeah, that whole chant
I
at the
wish
end,
there was no black and white. I wish there were no rules. People call me rude. I wish
man.
we all
Yeah,
would knew. I wish there was no black and white. I wish there were no rules.
Go ahead, Big Roo.
I love that shit. But
Yeah,
I had to skip over, you know, the
yeah,
Lord's Prayer to get to that point. But it just really, it was kind of eerie at that time. On
yeah, yeah.
1991, a 9-year-old kid. And, you know, I was like, but even in my 20s, my 30s, I can never listen to it. And even till to this day, I can't listen to that part. I always listen to the shorter version of that song. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, this shit is funky. You hear me?
Yeah, it's a badass song to this day, and heavily played, man, all throughout his career at many
All through his
concerts, man.
career.
So I knew the brother knew it was funky, man. He held on to this one.
Yes, yes. So, man, with that being said, we're gonna go on to the next record, and it's another dope record, and it's called Sexuality.
Sexuality is all you'll ever need.
Sexuality is all we'll ever need. Yeah, man, that's the joint.
Sexuality. I'm gonna let my body be free. Sexu.
Remember this video?
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of the video, I'm gonna play it right here. You see it? A little bit.
Where's that? Where's that?
It's right there. You see it? There it is. Yeah. So we gotta give him a little piece. You know, and this is
Yeah,
the time where videos was really starting to get introduced, and then back in the day they would do 3 or 4 videos in one sitting, and that's exactly what happened with this particular video. They did Controversy, and then they went back and they did Sexuality all in the same day.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, man, this song is man, it's funky. I like the way it come off, and he's doing it like, and it's just the bass and the drums and everything, and the chord progressions. You know what I mean? It's one of those funky ass records, man, that I love listening to. Still listen to this day, man.
I think that's the first time we hear the Prince scream on record, right? If I'm not mistaken, that particular scream.
That particular, yeah, because we didn't hear it through Dirty Mind at all. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we hear the hour. Yeah, yeah. That was the first initial hour scream on that song. But that song, man, that actually was the second single off the album, but only in Germany, Australia, and Japan. And what was unusual about that single being released, Controversy was on the B side of that
Mm.
particular single, and then Controversy was the first single off the Controversy album. But having Controversy as a first song and then Sexuality as a second song, perfect companion back to back, man, with those messages and, as far as talking about the world and the children and trying to rid them of their bad ways and trying to instill good in them and things of that nature, and being free, man, just being yourself, no matter who you are or what you are, just enjoy life, basically, is what I take the song. But the song is hard. It's very new wave-ish. I love new wave shit, so I'm
Yeah.
very attracted to the song just because of the energy of the music that goes on throughout the song, and I love the whip sound that goes on. Just like in Controversy, has that same sound, that sort of clap whip sound that goes on throughout the song. I like that shit too a lot.
Yeah, it's a dope record, man. I like when he kind of talks toward the end, and when he says something about his mama, "Mama, are you listening?" It's like,
Yeah.
is that a diss? Is he dissing his mama a little bit? Oh, it's like, interesting. Thumbs up to that. So
Absolutely.
that being said, we go into the next joint, and it's a ballad, y'all. One of them classic ballads from Prince, and it's called "Do Me, Baby."
Here we are, looking for.
Do Me Baby, huh?
Oh,
Yeah. This
oh,
is actually the first classic ballad from Prince. Even though Prince had ballads on
yeah,
his first three albums, I think
yeah,
this was like the first serious,
yeah,
the first serious one. Because this one, man, it's almost like a movie, man. You can actually hear him acting it out. The heavy breathing and shit that's going on. It's kind of nasty.
yeah. I mean, the song is self-explanatory. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, here we are in this big old empty room, staring each other down. You want me,
yeah,
I want you. I mean, he's just telling you what it is.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I just love the bass.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's just one of those. And then you get the screams. You get the screams in this.
yeah.
That's really prolific, man. It's, to me, and we did the top 5 slow jams. I know it was in my top 5. Was it in your top 5?
No, but I love it. Not that I don't like it. It's just I like some of the other ones better. "Do Me Baby" is a classic, though. I would never say I do not like that song. I've always loved it from day one. But you know what? What's unusual about that song is, for a man, uh, it was unusual. I think listening to this song all my life, it was always unusual that a man would sing this. It always seemed like it would be more so for a woman. I know Melissa Morgan did it a couple of years after,
Yeah, she took a stab at it.
but yeah, yeah, and it came out good. But it always seemed like it was written for a woman, or should have been performed by a woman. And just saying, like, you don't really hear too many men saying, "Take me, baby, kiss me all over." You don't really hear a man say that. That would be something that you would hear a woman say. And then and and then the end, like when he finally has a climax, she leaves him cold. He's like, "I'm cold." I ain't never had a woman do that.
Yeah, that was a big difference.
Why are you cold? I'm so cold.
Yeah,
That was a cold shit. A woman do you like that, leave you cold. Like, I want to know where that woman at.
you know. Yeah, I think it's the quintessential ballad. I think it's
It is.
one of the greatest slow jams he's ever made, and I don't know why it went in your top 5. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
And if y'all want to see our top 5 slow jams,
man.
y'all can check that video. Link will be down.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Yeah, badass song though. But
badass
the,
song.
the rumor about that song, the rumor about that song is when he was recording that song, he asked the engineer to leave the studio and turn off all the lights and whatever and keep the tape rolling. And so the rumor is that there could have been someone mysteriously still in that room. So, which is the reason why it sounds so much like there's some interaction with someone, on the recording. He also says, what are you going to do? You're just going to stand there and watch? Like, what are you doing to yourself?
Right.
Somebody's in that room.
Somebody was up in there with him.
Yeah. So, they have you breathing into the mic. So, yeah, that's the rumor. And then also, the song was actually originally done in 1979 first with heavily involvement with Andre Simone.
Andre Simone.
So
he wrote the song. He wrote that song.
Well, I don't. I'm not gonna go on record and say that he wrote the song, but it is noted that they worked on the song together.
He wrote the song.
I'm gonna keep it on the hush.
Andre Simone.
But the song was. But the song was recorded in '79 at the time Andre Simone was in the band, and of course everyone knows by the time Controversy was out, he was no longer, in that band. So.
Yeah, well, I'll just say that he originally penned that song, but he wasn't credited as the writer. So if we ever get Andre Simone on the Purple Brothers, I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna act like I'm Stephen A. Smith, and I'll be like, "Yo, did you write that?"
Here's words, though. That's it, brother. You said it, not me.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just saying. But yeah, at the end of the day, hey, at the end of the day, it was a classic.
No evil, hear no evil, see no evil.
Really? That's how we doing. That's what we doing, y'all.
But Do Me Baby is a bomb slow jam.
Do Me Baby is the bomb. We can agree to that. It's one of those great records, man. I'll put that against anybody. So
straight up classic.
Classic. So we're gonna keep it pushing to the next record. And it's one of my favorites on Controversy, and it is Private Joy.
This is one of my favorite ones on here too, but I like every song.
Yeah. I mean,
I like every song here, but Private Joy is unique in its own way because it's actually a little bit different from the different sounding from the rest of the album. With that being said, it was one of the last songs, or actually the last song recorded on this album because of the use of the Lynn drum machine that was used on this recording. It was the first time he actually used this machine on a song. And this will be the first of that machine going into the year 1982, where it was used almost throughout 1999. So we hear it first here on this song, Private Joy. It's very, very cool. I love the breakdown right at the, right what is like the 2 or 3 minute mark, when he says you belong to Prince, that whole thing, and then it goes into like a whole breakdown, and then the guitar solo kind of spazzing out at the end. Very cool song, man. I love the effects and everything, how it sounds on this.
Yeah, it is different from the tracks from the rest of the album. I like the chord progression. I love the monster guitar at the end, and I love the lyrics. She was his little private joy. It was. I thought that they were going to do a video for this, but it never materialized. So, unfortunately, we never got a visual from that.
Yeah.
But it was just definitely one of those songs that you can hear on the local radio station back then. They played Controversy. They played Doom Baby, obviously, and they played Private Joy a lot as well. So it's one of those. I say fan favorites. A lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
They love the record, man, like me and you do. So
and it was also used as an encore during this Controversy tour. Once he started that tour, he played this song as an encore. LaToya Jackson ended up remaking the song about a year or two later. I don't know if you ever heard that. Yes. Toya Jackson, Janet Big Sister. Actually, you need to check it out. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. It ain't Prince's version, but it ain't bad.
Like Prince said on Housequake, bullshit.
Another interesting fact about this song too, it was the first song he actually recorded here in California at Sunset Sound. Man, he actually recorded all the album at his home studio in Minneapolis, at his home studio there. But this song was the start of him recording in Sunset Sound going into 1999. So first he used the Lynn drum, and the first one he recorded out here in California.
No doubt, no doubt. So big up to Private Joy. We're gonna keep it pushing, and we're gonna get to the next song, which is kind of like, well, actually, we can blend the next two records. It's Ronnie Talk to Russia. When Ronnie talked to Russia, he was always cognizant of what was going on in the world. It was always some stuff he would always say politically. On the last album, on Dirty Mind, it was Party Up. He was talking about, things that were going on. And now Ronnie talked to Russia. Of course, Ronnie, he was talking about Ronald Reagan, who was our 40th president of the United States back in the 80s. And back then, those times, boys and girls, Russia and the United States wasn't really a cohesive unit. So there was tension there. And that's why Prince will make reference to like, hey, talk to Russia before you blow up our world, because it was a thing about the nuclear bombs and all the different things that were going on. So that's why he made reference to Ronnie Talk to Russia before it's too late.
Yeah. Crazy song, man, with all the sound effects and everything going on through it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, it's very, oh yeah. Yeah. One thing that's cool about this whole album, man, it is very much of the time of 1981, where you had groups like the Cars, and Bananarama, and the Go-Go's, and those groups, Gary Newman, that new wave. So a lot of new wave was creeping into Prince's music. If you really listen to Dirty Mind and Controversy as a unit, there's a lot of new wave influence throughout that. And Ronnie Talk to Russia is a perfect example of that. Rock and new wave kind of blended in. And he just, this one, he just calls that mug out. He's calling Ronald Reagan out like, yo, man, what the hell?
Yeah, what you
This
doing?
is some bullshit. We got to do something.
Right. Hey, man,
so,
what you doing?
So tripping. So this is one of those first. This album's got a lot of firsts, man. This is also another first for Prince, where this is his first time actually making a really big political statement. Like you said, he did it in a Party Up previously, but this one, like I said, he just blatantly just calls the man out. Like, there's some shit going on. We need to address this.
Quickly.
And then the bomb just goes off at the very end, and it just slowly glides into
the
next
boom,
cut.
boom, boom. Let's work. Let's work.
I love how on the original album, I love how side 2 kind of flows cohesively, like the first 4 songs. So I love how they kind of run into each other. So that's pretty cool how the engineer did.
Dude.
But Let's Work is
work,
man. Yeah.
He
I
played.
don't know what you can say about this song.
Funk.
Everybody loves this song.
I'm telling you, it's the bass line is one of the coldest bass lines you ever want to hear, ever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's so cold. I remember a well-known bassist and incredible artist, Michelle Ndegeocello.
Yeah.
If you ain't hip to her, oh my gosh, she's incredible.
Yeah, she played the shit out of this. Yeah.
She played the hell out of this.
Was that Arsenio Hall?
Hall. She played.
I remember.
Boom, 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 boom. I was like, you are the bomb, and I love you, and I still love you. Michelle. Indigo,
Mhm.
Hello, wherever you are. Come on,
Yep.
Purple Brothers. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Alapaka.
Yeah. Please. Please, 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 please. Please, please,
Please,
please.
please,
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 please, please.
please, come on, Purple Brothers.
Please, please, please.
Please.
Give her some James Brown, she might come.
And let me tell you, man, one bass line is tremendous. His high falsetto on this song is crazy. I just love when he talk about I make you climb the walls. That's some work. That's putting in work. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
nasty. That's nasty.
Yeah. So
Pretty damn nasty.
he was doing this thing on this record, man. I like the chords, you know, and on the I don't think it was Matt Dr. Fink on this one. I think it was all Prince on this record, and it's just incredible, and you know how he pulled off doing the chord progressions and the bass lines and everything that's surrounding this track, man. It was just so dope. It's so funky, and I can't get enough of it now. Still, it's just what can you say, man? We're gonna move on to the next track off Controversy, and it's Annie Christian.
Anti-Christian, Antichrist, until you're crucified.
Annie Christian, man, to me, it covered a lot of bases during that time in the 80s. You had, which he mentioned, the great John Lennon was killed. Um, he didn't mention, but it was happening during that time. The Atlanta child murders were going on. Um, and also there was, Ronald Reagan was shot. Remember?
Yep.
Ronald Reagan was shot during this time as well. So it was just a lot of things that were going on in the world, and he addressed it. It's kind of a weird song, Anti-Christian, Antichrist, until you're crucified. I live my life in taxi cabs. I never understood what he was talking about, but he addressed a lot of things that were going on in the world. Musically, it had the new wave thing going on. I love the guitar on the song as well as the keyboard play, but I really I didn't really understand. Okay, who is Anti-Christian? Are you saying is this an antichrist song? What are you saying? So I was always confused when I heard this record.
Well, do you know who Dorothy Parker is?
Yes.
Do you know who Dolores is when he had dinner with her? I mean, he made all kind of fictional women throughout his career. I mean, this is just one of those fictional characters that he created. I mean, he became a fictional character. I mean, he became Camille at some point. He became Jamie Starr. So Prince was always about, creating these characters, these interesting, what do you call it? Interesting figures,
Yeah.
and creating a life around them. And Andy Christian, as you mentioned, to me, Prince has always had every album for me. He's always had a song that I consider his left album, or left song rather. And on this album, this is considered the left. Like on Around the World Today, I consider the left song to be Tambourine. On Dirty Mind, to me, it's Sister. So it's those
Right.
little
Right.
it's those little songs that's kind of like, okay, I gave y'all the funk, I gave y'all the ballads, I gave y'all this. I'm gonna just put shit on pause, and I want y'all to check this shit out real quick and just listen
Right.
to this. So I always took it as that, and I've always dug the song, man. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
on that new wave tip, and like we mentioned earlier, the album is of the time. So all that shit about Reagan, the gun control, John Lennon, all that shit is really of the time. So when you listen to this album, you're actually listening to an encyclopedia of 1981, basically. And that shit.
Absolutely. I dig the record. It was just to me, trying to understand it at that time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you put it in perspective, like, it's like a fictional character that he came up with, and he made
yeah,
great points about Dolores and Dorothy Parker. So
yeah,
big up to that, man. It made me really open my eyes to that. Like, okay, because I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't think about that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah, it took me a while too, because I never, as a kid growing up and listening to it, I didn't I didn't think about it much either. But after a while, you just it kind of is like, oh, okay, this person doesn't really exist. It exists in his mind.
I think you was in your garage and you was like, any Christian. Yeah, that shit's fictional.
I'm sorry, I didn't inhale.
It's like,
Words of President Clinton, I did not inhale. No, but very cool song, man. It's on some new age shit for real. It's cool as hell. I love it.
yeah. Big up to Andy Christian. It's weird, but I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the last song on this album, and it's Jack You Off.
What is a jack you off? I don't know what that is. Excuse me, what is a jack you off?
Jack You Off.
It took me a long time as a kid to even know what that meant, man.
Right. Yeah, we had no idea what the terminology was, jack you off, back then, until you probably got into junior high school and you start to hear it a little more.
Yeah.
When people were like experimenting with the palms.
Yeah. Nasty kids.
Nasty kids, you
Nasty kids in junior high.
You're nasty.
And we can sit in the back and I'll jack you off.
Yeah.
Shame on Prince. And to have this as a closing song is something else, right?
Right.
Go out with a bang.
Exactly. Yeah. And from people back then, literally, they was going out with a bang, you know what I mean? So Jack You Off is, to me, the early version of Tambourine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you really listen to Tambourine and what he's talking about, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, the innuendos, yeah.
The innuendos is crazy.
Yeah.
So, to have an album called Controversy and your last song is Jack You Off, okay. All right. It is what it is, man. It's a good record. I don't know if I would finish it with Jack You Off, but maybe that's what he was thinking. Hey, Jack You Off, you finish, you climax is over.
No. No. I think he's just nasty.
See, I was just trying to,
Don't try to clean it up. No, it's just nasty.
I was just trying to, sorry. I was just trying.
But I mean, shit, he was nasty already. So we should have saw it coming. We saw, we heard Sister and Head on the previous album. So we already knew, this brother's he's coming back with some more nasty.
He's coming back with some crazy stuff.
So here we are. But this song, man, I like when he does this. I like when he does this this trend, that sound that he has, like on like, say for example, Gotta Stop Messing About. This song, Jack You Off, Delirious, even Courting Time in later years. That song that has kind of had that rockabilly kind of feel to it. I always like when he goes into that. Yeah, I always like when he kind of goes into that vibe, that little pop vibe. It's kind of a throwback to kind of like that 60s, 50s thing, but he puts a lot of synthesizers on it and gives it that 80s feel to it. So yeah, this song, he went out with a bang. Also an encore performance too as well, along with less work on the Controversy tour. He would close with this in a lot of cases too.
Yes, definitely. So hey, that's our review of Controversy, Prince's 4th studio album. How do you feel about the record? You want to drop us a comment, let us know. Also, hey, subscribe to our page, Purple Brothas. We're here to stay. We've been rocking for a while now. We're going to still keep it pushing. So, hey, tell a friend and hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. We greatly, greatly appreciate it.
And to all of our Prince followers, Purple Fam, Purple Army, we love you guys. Stay safe. Make sure you tune in, love each other, and we'll see you the next go round. Peace.
Absolutely. Love one another. Purple Brothas, baby.
Salute.